Take a look. It's Francine looking as only she can look. There's about 4 inches of, 4 square inches of fabric there.
Yeah.
And 4 inches of Tony Schiavone really engulfed with blood right now.
No, it's more like an inch.
Roll Tide, my friend. Roll Tide.
Oh, man. You know, Francine's one of these young ladies that just cannot look bad.
How about Shane Douglas? He looks a lot cooler without his fucking skateboard, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He absolutely does. Absolutely. Well, he kind of oversold that a little bit. Good God. He took a shit. He took a hell of a bump for just getting smooched.
Well, I mean, you've never been kissed by Francine. You don't know what that would be like.
No, well, I don't. Yeah, she's,
as Bruce would say, all the way live.
All the way live is correct.
Now here's the thing. I was like, cut the fucking music. That's what I did that right on cue too.
Yeah. How about that? And he said fucking, and he said, God damn it, this thing. And I'm thinking, wow, they really knew how to do a pay-per-view, didn't they?
Well, I mean, listen, I know that you're probably going to dump on that, but listen to us talk, you know, we're over and they were over with it. So
how can I absolutely dump on anything with Francine standing in the ring?
You know, what's funny to me is the press pass that there's like an all access pass clipped to Shane Douglas's shorts. Like, is that, he's walking around wearing the fucking belt. Does he really need the little piece of plastic to tell security who he is?
Well, knowing Shane, he probably did that to stick it up security's ass.
Probably.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. So this starts out with an interview. Boy, she is really playing with Joey here. Holy smokes.
How about those heels? Can you imagine as a man trying to figure out how to walk in that? That's what we should do on Patreon this week. I need you trying to walk in some of Lois's heels.
Okay.
That'd be hilarious because there's no way we could do that.
Yeah, I can do that. Absolutely. I can. Well, what's this huddle they got going on here?
They wanted to get together and take a peek at Francine's gimmicks.
Okay. Well, not bad. So Joey's going to open this one. And from what I understand from reading about this is that, Shane is going to be his commentator on this.
That's
and this,
right.
Of course, is. And yeah. Yo, holy shit.
So Francine was talking about how the fact that I love these opens back in the day. I bet your suit didn't cost $6,000, unlike, and then shoves his head in the gimmicks.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Well, never happened to me on a pay-per-view. So who was I fucking working for?
Give us some commentary on these clips you're seeing.
Okay. It's time for HW. Oh my God. In the head with a piece of shit and a major fucking deal. Sabu on the ladder. And I'll just drink a beer and beat myself in the fucking head because I'm the Sandman. Yeah. Who is that diving over the top? Was that? And there's another Sabu fucking move. Jesus Christ. Holy shit. These fuckers are just, they look at that. He threw him out of the ring into the fans. Were they trying to kill each other here? Is that what they were trying to do? Were they say, you know what, we're gonna fuck Tommy Dreamer whacking somebody with a chair? Hello, Francine. Were they trying to kill somebody? There's nothing like a little shot of the Blue Meanie. I love him, man. And of course, that's just incredible. Who, by the way, I got a chance to meet a few years back. Did an autograph signing with him. First time I had a chance to meet Justin. Is he still with us?
Yeah, he's here. He's doing a documentary about his struggles with addiction. I think he's struggling right now.
Well, you've got to kind of wonder with all the bumps they took, how many guys from ECW are still with us? You do. I mean,
lots of people make fun of, ECW's budget and all that, but I like this entrance set right here.
Yeah. This was what ECW was all about, man. This absolutely was what ECW was all about. And
describe what you're seeing.
Holy Mary, Mother of God. Oh my God. Holy shit and a brick. What? What? That's Nicole Bass, right?
Yeah, she is no longer with us, but this is
Right.
what really put her on the wrestling map. Eventually,
Oh,
she would
yeah.
wind up in the WWF. She would be there by WrestleMania time the next year.
Right.
But she first got her big wrestling break here. On the left, on the right there is Chastity, who also at one point, I believe, wound up in WCW for a minute. And she went whatever viral was around this time because it came out that she had done an adult film of an oral variety. And it got leaked. And then the fellow on the left is, Jason, who was an ECW original, who, it was sort of like, popular to hate. And then of course, in the middle, the superstar, and that's what he is here at this point, just incredible, who had really reinvented himself from the goofy Aldo Montoya bullshit that we had seen in the WWF. He was essentially on loan here from the WWF, and they came up with maybe Paul Heyman's worst name ever. Just incredible.
Got it.
And not the best name ever, but man, he got it over because it showed a darker side and a more aggressive style. And eventually he'd start carrying a cane and be paired with Lance Storm, and they'd become the Impact players. He would even become world champion here. So it's quite a turnaround for him. And he's doing it in combat boots and jean shorts.
Here's the cold hard facts about what I'm looking at in the ring right now. And even as Mr. JL comes to the ring, in a shoot fight, Nicole Bass could kick all their asses.
So Jerry Lynn here, as you called him, Mr. JL, was with WCW for a long time, but right here, he had really started to come into his own. In ECW, he would eventually become world champion, but he would also have a series of matches with Rob Van Dam that put him on the map. And Rob Van Dam was calling himself, you know, the whole fucking show. Then of course, Jerry Lynn, they wanted to call him the new fucking show.
Got it.
So there you go, man. What a difference in presentation from the WWF and WCW for both guys, but especially just incredible. Bob Ortiz is doing the ring introductions. Jim Molyneux is the referee, and Joel Gertner, who will be at Starrcast, by the way, had one of the great lines of all time when he was introducing everybody on the stick. And you know, you've heard that before where they would say in this corner, blah, 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 in this corner, blah, 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 your referee is bald. That's so good, right?
Well, I was going to say he looks like the Haviland Express Lube guy with that shirt on.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
This is a great way to start the show. They're going to have a tremendous wrestling match here. It won't be, you know, there will be some high spots, but there won't be some of the stuff that maybe you don't like. So I'm excited to get your take on this because these are guys who are going to have a real wrestling match here.
Well, see, there's nothing wrong with that. I've always said that you need to build up to violence. If somebody comes out in match number one and hits the motherfucker over the head with a ladder, then what does it mean the rest of the way?
Meltzer would give this match 3.25 stars.
Okay. Well, there you go. So our buddy Dave liked it. Then that means it must be good, since he's the measuring stick for pro wrestling.
I feel like I should tell you that this show is universally praised, as we sort of mentioned at the top of the show. But the Wrestling Observer reader poll, you know, we always talk about thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. You want to guess where this one was?
Oh, this had to be way thumbs up.
Guess a percentage though.
95%.
97.3.
Yeah, I can see that.
The best match on the card is going to be Masato Tanaka and Mike Awesome, and there ain't no doubt about that. Incredible. Second best is going to be Sabu and Rob Van Dam versus Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinzaki. And I think you're going to have fun trying to pronounce all those names. Should be good stuff. Am. But this is a huge success. The show drew 4,376 fans, which is just shy of the capacity that they set up of 4,500. The actual building holds around 6,000, but with their staging and the way they had sort of planned, they hoped for 4,500, and they're just barely shy of that. 3,991 fans would pay 110 grand. And that's just a little short of the company record, that most people expected would be broken. And that record was done at November to Remember in Pennsylvania, the prior year of 97. They did get a ton of money, for merchandise, $57,000, which on average is $14.82 a head, which is up there with an all-time record in the history of United States wrestling as far as a per person. So those ECW fans, I guess, you know, they're a lot like wrestling fans today. There may be fewer of them, but they're willing to consume more.
And they're passionate about what they love and their product. And God, you got to respect that. Plus, here's another thing too. The overhead is probably not as big as it was for a WCW pay-per-view.
No doubt about it, because a lot of these guys are not on big money contracts, and you don't have some of the ridiculous production expenses. You know, they definitely do a lot of less is more when it comes to production. And they're doing that just based on, you know, the realities of their economic situation. But I dig it. And you can see the girls in the back trying to get heat with the crowd. And by the way, there's a part in this that just before the Dudley Boys match, Bubba Ray Dudley gets on the microphone and gets heat like you've probably never even seen in wrestling. And I'm not saying that to be funny, but you're probably, we might need you to actually listen to that live here on the show.
Okay.
Just because you won't believe some of the things he says.
All right.
And you won't believe that WWE has not clipped it off the network. I'll never forget the first time I saw it in person, 'cause I'd been reading in the newsletters and stuff that he was causing near riots with his commentary. And I got to see some of it on TV, but of course they edit out all the bad words, and they would take a 10 or 12 minute, you know, rousing of the crowd and trim it down to 2 minutes and bleep all the bad words. Well, I got to see it in person in Dalton. Man, it was something else. He went out of his way. You know, it's a different time. So you could call people things back then to get heat that you just couldn't do now. Like if you said it now, you'd be out of the business.
Right.
But if you say it then, and you probably shouldn't have said it then either, but you could, and people would just be pissed off, but not in a way where it was like, okay, that's it for you. Oh, check this spot out. Jason holding the chair up in front of Jerry Lynn's face.
Wow. Holy shit. You know, you're right. They've had a very, if I can use this term, it's kind of bullshit, but technical wrestling match right now. They've had one spot over the top, but they've kept it in the, just powerbomb his ass on a chair. And the Haviland Express Lube guy is arguing with Nicole Bass, I guess.
By the way, Bruce Pritchard, not high on Nicole Bass, says that her husband was a negative influence in the locker room.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
I put 2 and 2 together to sort of, nobody's told me this, but
okay.
When he says, you know, her husband was a negative influence in the locker room.
Yeah.
That sounds like to me he was a drug peddler.
Okay. Could be. Now, I think Nicole, and of course I've only read about Nicole since in the last, I don't know, since I've been out of wrestling, but she ended up before her death, she ended up hooking up with a girl. Didn't she?
I don't know, but I did know that she came to fame on Howard Stern. And she was even in Howard Stern's movie, Private Parts, which came out in 1997, which would have been a year prior to this.
Right.
You know, I know that it's not a popular look, and from a production side, you may not like it. I know Bruce hates it, but I love that all that's lit are the first few rows around ringside, and then everything else is dark. I think that's a cool look for wrestling. Well,
you know what it is? And here's what I appreciate about it. It's different. It's different than what WCW and what WWF back then were trying to do. And there's something to be said about being fucking different.
Yeah.
I mean, I always said, and God bless Vince Russo, I always said during Russo's tenure, we attempted to be WWF light, and we couldn't out WWF the WWF.
Right.
So if you can't, then be your own thing, man. This is a fine opening match, man. Credible was a good guy. You know, when I met Justin Credible, and I met him at Bud Carson's in Allentown, Pennsylvania, when Bud had his wrestling show. There was a Ric Flair bump. I didn't even know who he was. I hadn't seen anything from him. And this is my first Justin Credible match, but the kid can really go. And you know what? You know, this addiction thing that we're talking about, and I shouldn't just flip it off like an addiction thing, but I can understand where kids in this era taking these absolutely crazy bumps would get addicted to painkillers if that in fact is the case, because they would have to do it to survive. I mean, how could you not take these bumps? Gosh, I am not condoning taking all the painkillers, but how could you not perform on a nightly basis or even a weekly basis without something to deaden the pain? Tylenol ain't gonna do it, guys. It just amazes me, and of course it goes on today too. You know, we see crazy things. We just aired the other night our Battle Riot from New York City, and the crazy things those guys do. And you know what? This was really the start of it, wasn't it?
It was. You know, I mean, this is the height of the Monday Night Wars to me.
Right.
I mean, 98 was such a hot year for you guys. At this point, Goldberg's your world champion. Stone Cold's the world champion on the other channel. ECW's enjoying their biggest success. All three companies are really thriving. What are you making of,
yeah,
Jerry,
and
Jerry
not
Lynn
only
here?
that, just look at that, man. Just great athleticism by both guys. Wow, sit out powerbomb. I even know my moves now. 1, 2, and the 2 count. Just, but you know, the thing, and this is something I brought up when we saw our last ECW show. The things that ECW and Paul Heyman were doing back then have kind of stood the test of time.
Yeah.
Fans getting involved, chanting, right?
Absolutely.
Are you still with me?
I'm with you.
Okay.
Can you not hear me? You not hear me?
I didn't hear you one time. I had I'm sorry. I had a button pushed on my end here, but it stood the test of time. Fans chanting, fans getting involved in it. I hear you now. You're fine. Just using chairs, using tables, using ladders. It just it's a little bit different than a Wahoo McDaniel and a Greg Valentine match now. All right, Credible up, and Jerry Lynn. You know, Jerry Lynn was a pretty. Wow, I always thought Jerry Lynn really came across in the backstage area. He kind of looked like a bookworm, glasses, kind of looked like a businessman, but man, when he turned it on in the ring, he was a completely different guy.
Jerry Lynn is going to be at Starrcast.
Ah, good. I haven't seen Jerry Lynn since forever. And what would ECF&W be without a chair? It's amazing that the referee's back has been turned all this long time. He, the Avalon Express Loop guy kind of looked over. What's the chair doing in the ring? Oh, a DDT on a chair. That's it. That's got to be it.
And it's not it. See Jerry Lynn getting on Chastity there about the interference. Justin Credible with a running start into the corner, up and over. Snaps him down over the top rope. And
wow,
they're on a table, and look, it's almost like Bill Watts' book in the territory. No mats around the ring.
And nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, for workplace environment, there's a lot wrong with that. But for what ECW is, why should it be?
I need you to call this, Tony.
All right. My God, they're going up top. What are they going to try to do? What are they going to try to do? Oh, my God, a Frankensteiner! A Frankensteiner off the top turnbuckle onto the table. ECW, ECW, ECW. Where's Francine? Where's Francine? That's what I've been chanting while they've been chanting ECW.
How great is that?
Oh, that is absolutely spectacular. Wow. And then here's my only knock on that. How do you continue after that, right?
Well, now we got to set people on fire.
Well, that would be the only thing left to do. I mean, like for instance, right? He just took a Frankensteiner from the top to the table. He should be dead. But I bet you that some bitch gonna kick out. No, he's not. He got hit with. Oh, they pulled the wool around on my eyes that time. And now Jerry Lynn going to pick him up. Boy, the referee just knows how to turn his back because, as we said, he is bald. Here come the girl now. Watch out. The real ass kicking going to start now because she could actually beat everybody's ass here. Wow, look at this. How she picked him up with ease. Do a little crucifix drop there, darling. Go ahead.
Oh, cooter shot.
Oh, my God. Oh, the cooter shot. Oh, God. And the fans pop for the cooter shot. Oh, good God. Is he gonna cooter shot her too? Jesus.
How great is that?
Oh.
The pickup spot kicks him in the ding ding.
Oh, Jesus. For just absolute pure entertainment, you can't beat this, man.
Look at this.
You can't.
Pile driver on a woman. Tombstone pile driver on a woman.
Okay, cooter shot at one. He tombstone pile drove her on another. And meanwhile, where's my opponent? Oh, there he is. Let's go get him. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
Here we go.
This is just the opening match. Oh.
Are you ready for this?
Oh, my God.
Tombstone pile driver off the top.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. That's it.
What'd you think?
Every bit of 4 stars. Every bit, man.
I loved it.
Wow. Yes, sir. You know, he tried his best to protect JL when he came off with that tombstone pile driver by tucking his knees that time and having him land. But something like that's going to blow out your knee as well. I mean,
Meltzer would say that the finish looks scary and a top rope tombstone, man. Yeah. That's not something you're going to see very often. I loved it.
No, that's one of those that you save for a pay-per-view, I would hope. And see how credible is limping around.
And look on the right-hand side. Jerry Lynn is touching his middle finger to his thumb over and over and over.
Yeah.
By the way, Jerry Lynn going to be at Starrcast. He's a referee for All In.
Oh, he is.
Yep.
Wow. What a night. What a weekend that is going to be in Chicago. Holy sniker-molies. All right. I'm with you, man. And another Haviland Express Lube guy. Looks like they're changing oil right now. Looking into my car. Is this over? Is Nicole Bass going to kick somebody else's ass? She got it real slowly.
Well, she's selling.
Well, I know that, but I mean, they got it. I thought maybe the way she got up dramatically that she would just walk over and kick Jerry Lynn right in the balls.